a podcast hosted by Joe Dietrich, Joe on the mic, Leader Talk. All right, guys, we're back, and I'm so happy to have a brother from 100X on here, and his name is Roosevelt Cooper. And I'm just going to go right into his bio so we can start talking about what he's doing. His name is Roosevelt Cooper. He is a customer service leader with over 22 years of experience leading and developing high-performing teams. He's also a passionate entrepreneur. He is an author of a soon to be released, and we can talk about that later too, his ebook, Side Hustle for Gamer Dad Entrepreneurs on How to Build a Side Business Without Sacrificing Family or Gaming. That is very, very interesting. Through his company, the 10 Talents, he coaches gamer dad entrepreneurs on how to balance career, family, and their gaming hobby. He is a devoted husband, loving father, a licensed minister, and a passionate gamer. And Roosevelt is a living example that you can earn a six-figure income without sacrificing your family or your gaming hobby on the altar of ambition. Welcome, Roosevelt. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yo, gamer dads, and when you were talking about that, we're a part of 100X and some other groups. And when you came out, I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because we came from a generation, or I'll claim it myself. We came from a generation where the video gaming industry was just like introduced, Atari, Nintendo, and then Sega. From those people know about Sega. I mean, so what got you into this whole gamer thing, and tell us a little bit more about yourself that I didn't already cover, brother.
Awesome. Well, I would say I've always been a gamer. As you correctly pointed out, we were pretty much out to Generation X. That was pretty much the first true hardcore gamer generation because we were the generation that got introduced to Atari and ColecoVision and Commodore 64 and all these other gaming systems.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But now, as we grow older and stuff like that, gaming has like, man, has exploded into different areas. It's sometimes it can be very consuming. And I liked how you said about not sacrificing your family, but also building a six-figure income. Can you give our audience here like a little backstory of how you came up with this idea to how to jump into that and actually to help dads?
Good. So, yeah. So basically, I tried a few different types of ideas and worked with few different types of groups of people. And that's the thing. A lot of times, many of us as entrepreneurs will have an idea, and instead of actually trying the idea out to see if it works, we'll sit on it and we'll pray about it and we'll meditate and we'll do all these other things except for actually putting the idea out there. So I put a bunch of different ideas out there and tried different things to see what would stick with me, what would stick with the audience, what would resonate with the people who are following me. And this was one of those things. And when I put this out there, the response was incredible. Like I got more response just from this that I got from anything else that I've put out combined. And what was interesting about it was this was probably the most niche down idea that I've came up with. So there was a lot of people who do not fall into this category. But despite that fact, I had way more people respond than people responding to other things that I put out that was more broad in nature. So
Wow.
it shows you the power of niching down and really getting that micro niche honed in.
Look, that is a good point because I run to in my coaching, and I'm pretty sure in your coaching as well. We always run into clients that are like, "Oh, I don't know if I should niche down. I don't want to do," and they start going down this little rabbit hole that they want to serve the world, which is good. We like to serve the world because that's our heart, and that's what God heart is, to serve the world. But we're not called to serve everybody.
Mhm.
But based on our experiences, our background, things that we know that we can do and specialize in. And even sometimes we don't think we can specialize in, but you discovered it that you specialize in. And there's people there that need help. So, what can you tell those entrepreneurs out there? They're like scared to niche down. Just based on your experience, what can you tell them real quick?
I would say do it. You can, in my experience, you cannot niche down small enough. Go as deep as you possibly can and try it out and see if you get a response. Because this is the thing: when you niche down, right? Are there going to be people who don't fit into that category? Yes. But the people who do fit into that category, they're going to resonate with it so much that they're going to immediately respond. And you know what the funny thing is? In that response, I had in my response to the gamer dad entrepreneurs, I had a number of people who were not entrepreneurs or who are not gamer dads respond and state interest as well. I had a number of wives like, hey, I need this for my husband. Let me get the let me tagging their husbands into this. I had men who were not dads but who were gamers responding. So it's funny when you actually niche down, you actually have a much better chance at getting the world versus when you don't niche down and you try to be too general.
Yeah, yeah. That man, look, guys, that is like if you get anything out of this podcast episode right here from what Roosevelt said, you need to hone in on what he just said. Because I preach that a lot in my coaching and in my challenges as well. It's like, look, guys, you got to niche down because if you, when you niche down, you're not just going after that one person, you're going after that other people as well that want to help out that person that you're trying to help out. And then you're going to be getting their attention too, because they're like, I don't know how to help this person out. I don't know how to get this person interested in it. But then when they hear you and what you're going after, they're like, hey, I know somebody. And then that person that didn't know that you were looking for them, they're going to be found because someone else, word of mouth, someone who is listening that actually has a heart for their loved one, who is the spouse, or even maybe even the child. Say, hey, look, dad, you like gamers, right? Look what he's doing. And then like, I found my tribe. And that's what you're doing. Roosevelt is building his tribe based on his experience and his love of gaming and turned it into something great. And people are like, I want to be a part of it. So now
And you
before we
know,
go
yeah, before you continue, it's just so crazy. I had mothers tagging their sons. I even had one woman tag, she said, oh, I want to get this for my ex-husband.
wow. Wow. Look at that. That's something else, man.
You
That
know
is
it's resonating when it's like, I want
woo.
to help my ex.
Look, that is the power of niching down because look, that's gold right there. You can get an ex to respond and say, look, you need this. You need some help with this here. This brother's gonna help you out and that leads you into your passion and not just a now can you help our audience to understand what you do with gamer dads? Give a little breakdown. So, because I want them, like, if there's other people out there want gamer dads, they need to reach out to you. How can they do that? And what do you do for your gamer dads?
Yeah, so let's define what a gamer dad is. So a gamer dad is, first of all, he's a father, so he has one or more children. Secondly, he's a gamer. So what is a gamer? A gamer is just someone who has gaming as a hobby. So what qualifies as gaming? Number one, probably the most largest group of gamers would be video gamers. So people who like Xbox, who like PlayStation 5, who like computer games, things of that nature. So if you know someone, they spend a decent amount of time playing video games and they are a dad, then there's somebody who I would definitely be willing to work with. Another category is board games. You have a lot of
Mm,
people who are very heavy into board games, myself included.
yeah.
So if you have a father who's really heavy into board games, and that's definitely someone that I can help as well. Another category will be tabletop role playing games. You have tabletop role playing games like Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh.
huge and popular right now, especially off the success of the Netflix movie, well, not movie, the TV show Stranger Things has just
Mm.
made Dungeons and Dragons even more popular than what it already is. So if you have a dad that's into that, that's definitely someone I can help. And then another category that's really big as well is fantasy sports. You have a lot of dads who are very heavy into fantasy
Oh,
sports. Right now, it's football season
football
about to
season. Yeah.
start. Everybody's doing their drafts and everything of that nature. Actually, I spent maybe about 10 minutes of my coaching call today, just coaching my gamer dad on who to pick in his draft. So
Hey,
that's a huge niche as well. So
yeah.
any dads who have those areas as their hobby, and they're also looking to, even if they have a business or potentially looking to start a business, that's someone that I can help.
Wow, 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 wow. Man, and this is so cool because we seen it like we said before, the progression, just these little what was it? I can't remember what that one was. It's called Breaker with that little sliding bar and the
Oh
little dot
yes,
going up
yes.
and just breaking little things and and we're like, wow, this is amazing. And now we're going into like different worlds, with like Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers like is off the chain with the worlds that they create and the interactivity. And now we're going into meta
Yep.
and all these
Meta.
other, that I mean, virtual reality and all kinds of stuff like that. It is amazing how we've progressed in such a short period of time if we think about it. But in that, I would like to I like for my audience to know, like, all right, when they sit down and talk to you about gaming, like if you do a discovery call, break the call, however you want to call it, what are some of the things that you want to find out from your potential clients or the gamer dads that you want to help out?
Awesome. So I would say the first thing I want to find out is I want to get an idea of where they are right now in their gamer dad entrepreneur journey. So before they even get on a call with me, they have to fill out a survey where
Oh,
I ask them some specific questions so I can get a gauge of where they are, because I can't help them progress if I don't know exactly where they are. So one of the things that I do is I have them rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10
hmm.
in three different areas. The first area I have them rate themselves in is how satisfied are they with the level of income that they're earning from either their business or career or both. In a situation like me, where you do both, how satisfied are they in that level of income? The second area that I have them rate themselves in is how satisfied are they with the quality and quantity of time that they spend with their spouse, if they're married, and with their children. So I have them rate themselves in that area. And then the final area I have them rate themselves in is how satisfied are they with the quality and quantity of time that they spend gaming. And I have them rate themselves in that area. So once I have them rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 in that area, it will show me exactly what we need to work on and what we need to focus on. So if I have a dad who rates himself an 8 in the area of finance, and a 5 in the area of satisfaction with his spouse and family time, and a 4 in the area of gaming, then I know that we need to really heavy focus on that relationship with the spouse, children, and in the gaming, and help them be able to get that into balance. On the
Mm-hmm.
flip side, I have someone who is a 9 in family relationships and a 5 in gaming and a 1 in income. Then I know we got to really work on getting that income up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
D-
much how I do it. I have them rate themselves. So I can get an idea of exactly where they at. And then once I know where they're at, I know where to focus on.
yeah, because you know what, and I can see from both areas because I like playing certain games, right? And I've had to become disciplined in my gaming to be able to enjoy the gaming, but not sacrifice the time with my spouse.
Mhm.
And that's a real deal. And I'm glad that you're here providing that service and help to men, to dads, because you know what? I mean, everybody in life, whether you're in business or you're in ministry or whatever, you need to have a certain amount of balance in your life.
Mhm.
And if any one thing, like you and I both know, if there's an imbalance in one area, it affects the rest of the area.
Mhm.
And it's so true. And guys, I love this question. And you gamer dads out here, hey, sit down and do a call with Roosevelt and see those areas. And there's nothing wrong. And if I know Roosevelt, like I know Roosevelt because we're a part of the same group, these questions are not there for condemnation, is not there to put you down. It is there to build you up, equip you, and encourage you in those areas where it might be like a low area. And just like when I do my coaching, I help my clients out in those areas what they want improvement without condemnation, but with solutions. with real executable solutions that you can do for whether it be income in your family life or in your business or whatever the case may be. Um, so
I just want to add one thing.
yeah, please.
Yeah, and if the score is low, that's fine. Because here's the thing: there was a time where I was a one, and a one.
Mm,
So I know, so it don't get any lower than that. I was a one in income, I was a one in quality of family time, and I was a one in gaming. So it don't get any lower than that. So I've seen what the bottom looks like, regardless of what your situation is. There's no condemnation here because I was there. It's just like the Apostle Paul says, out of the sinners, I was the chief sinner. Well, out of the gamer dad entrepreneurs, I was the chief worst gamer dad entrepreneur. So, regardless of where you are, we can definitely put together a plan to help you be able to get to where you want to be.
yeah, and that's why I love too, where those different people were recommending, "Hey, Dad, check this out," because I know some other dads that are out there, and they love doing their gaming, and sometimes it affects the family because, especially, man, and it broke my heart when I'm not saying any names, but we're out together and doing things, and then I'm seeing a dad playing a game on his phone, and I'm like, yo, bro, we're here with family and friends and everything else like that. Just put that off to the side for a little bit there. And that just shows there's a little bit of an imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, there's some unfocus and some things like that. And it's good to have a coach like yourself to be there to talk to, say, hey, look, maybe this day I was a little bit distracted on other things and I needed the gaming to get my mind off some certain things. But then there's solutions to that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you talk to that fact and to help those gamer dads say, hey, look, brother, hey, it's okay to play the game. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure your family doesn't mind you playing the games. It's just we got to be wise in how we choose those gaming times, choose those things to where we can be effective where we're at, be present in the moment, especially in business with family and other things, and go forward. Brother, okay, can you talk to us, please, about your book before I forget? Because we could go into the gaming area and everything else, but tell us a little bit more about your book.
Yeah, so I have a book that I'm working on. It's an ebook. It's called Side Hustles for Gamer Dad Entrepreneurs. And it's basically talking about how you can be able to build a side business without sacrificing your family and gaming in the process. And the reason why I decided to write that book, because I know for me, I've dabbled in many different businesses over the years. And one of the things that I was constantly told was, oh, well, you got to go all in on your business. You got to burn your bridges, so to speak. And I did that. I was foolish enough to do that. I burned my bridges. I went all in on my businesses, and I ended up broke, divorced,
Mm.
and no hobby at all. And I was miserable. So I know what I so I so, but once I was able to learn about how to be able to balance all three, now I'm at the point where I have a very successful job. I'm earning a six-figure income. I have a successful side business. My wife adores me. My kids adore me. And I get 30 to 40 hours a month of gaming in all at the same time. So it can definitely be done. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to be in my book, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've done to actually go from that place where I was terrible in all areas to a place today where I'm thriving in all those areas.
Oh, guys, how many guys out there would love to be able to say, bro, my wife and my children adore me. I'm thriving in my business, and I'm also having fun doing my gaming. Guys, raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'm pretty sure there's guys out there like, yes, I would love that.
And one
And,
of the things I'm doing, my wife and my kids are writing the forward in the book because
oh,
I got friends and stuff who are successful that I could have had do it, but I'm like, no, let me have my wife and kids do it because what greater credibility is there than to actually have my family talk about how this stuff works?
mm, there you go. And Roosevelt, before we go, I want to make sure, how can they reach out to find you? And where is it that they can get, well, when you're done with your book, where else can they go to find out more about you in your book?
Okay, so they can go to my website, which is at www www.dominateyourdaychallenge.com. So they can go right to that website, put in their name and their email address. So that's going to get them exposed to my Gamer Dad community. When I run challenges, they'll be able to get into those. And of course, when the book is done, they'll be able to get it there. They can also follow me on all the social media platforms at Roosevelt Cooper on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm on Twitter as well. So they can follow me on, or I even have a TikTok account too. So they can follow me on LinkedIn, all this major social medias accounts and websites. They can follow me there. I'm Roosevelt Cooper on practically everything. If I'm
Mm.
not Roosevelt Cooper on it, I'm Roosevelt G Cooper, but I'm Roosevelt Cooper on practically everything.
Man, 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 so good. That's so good, guys. Look, first of all, he shared with us the importance of niching down. And if you're in business and you're an entrepreneur, guys, niche down. Find a coach, whether it be Roosevelt or myself, to help you to find out what your niche is. And sometimes it's just brainstorming with someone like one of us, and to actually break it down to those people that you want to serve and serve the best. Because God wants you, He wants you out there, but He wants you out there serving those people that He's equipped you and anointed you and put grace upon you to serve in a special capacity. But Roosevelt, I ask this question a lot,
Mhm.
and I love this question because it always draws us back to who we used to be and stuff like that. And the question is, what advice would you give to your younger self, maybe 10 years ago, that you know now about being an entrepreneur?
Well, the first advice is don't sell Netflix. Because I've owned Netflix shares at the very beginning when they first went public. I was buying
Oh,
every 2 weeks when I got paid, and then back for those of us who are old like us, back in the days when we had DVDs and we
hmm,
had DVD rental stores, the market leader at the time was Blockbuster. So what happened was Netflix was doing well. And then Blockbuster announced that they were gonna do something. They was gonna start their own version of Netflix. And I was like, sell, 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 because the market leaders come in. So I
yeah,
sold all my shares, and we know how that story ended up. Blockbuster went bankrupt, and today my shares will be worth about $15 million
hmm,
if I held on to them and kept buying. So that would be the first advice I give. But I would say the other advice that I would give, probably even more important than that. I say that more just more tongue in cheek, but I would say the most important advice that I would give to myself as an entrepreneur is don't quit your day job too soon.
oh,
Let the business promote you out of your day job, because a lot of times we feel like, oh well, I don't like my job, or even if you like your job, you feel like, oh, I like my business so much more. If I quit my job, then I'll have more time to be able to work in my business and I'll be able to make more money. And more times than not, it doesn't work out that way. You can absolutely build a successful side business while still working a very full-time job. My job right now, 40 hours a week is a slow week. And I can count on one hand how many weeks that I've worked 40 hours a week. My typical schedule of my job is more like 50, 60. If I'm really busy, as much as 70 hours a week on my job. So, despite having that demanding schedule, you can still build a business on the side. It's just about being strategic and smart about how you go about building your business and doing things that will help you to be able to get leverage. Like, for example, niching down as opposed to trying to serve everybody. Like, for example, really learning how to market your business so that you can attract your ideal customers, as opposed to trying to attract everybody and then trying to convince 50 people to sign up for what you want, but they're not your niche anyway. So now you've wasted all that time. So that would be the biggest piece of advice I would give to my younger self, to don't quit your job too soon. Your job can literally, and this has been my experience, your job can literally be a resource that you can use to really supercharge your business, because number one, it helps you be able to pay your bills. And trust me, paying your bills is nice. I know what it's like to not be able to pay your bills. It is not fun. So
Yeah.
it helps you do that. And then the other thing it does is if you're wise with your money, your job should also give you financial resources that you can use to invest in your business. So if you need to buy a website, if you need to invest in some coaching or training or personal development, your job will give you the resources to be able to do that. And then as you make money in your business, you can keep that money in your business and reinvest it back into your business instead of having to now try to take that money and use that to pay your phone bill, which is 3 months behind. You don't have to worry about that because your job is covering all that. So that would be the biggest piece of advice. Don't quit too soon. I have a friend of mine. He didn't quit his job until he was making $250,000 a year in his business, and even then he didn't quit. He basically had to get his manager at the time basically found out what he was doing and how successful he was, and basically gave him an ultimatum. It was like, hey, listen, you can't be doing side businesses and trying to run my business. I need you to be either all in on me or go do your business. So then he shook his hand and said, thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to go do my own business. And today he's worth multi-millions today. But he didn't quit his job until he was making multiple six figures. And he was doing that on a part-time basis. So you can absolutely make a significant income part-time while still working your full-time job. So keep working your full-time job, keep stacking that money until it gets to the point where it just doesn't make sense to be there anymore.
Yes. Yes. Amen and amen. And there are benefits. There are benefits to keeping your full-time job, the W-2 job, and doing your part-time job until you or your business until it comes to fruition. There's tax benefits, and just initially, I'm not a tax advisor, so but the benefits of that is that, yeah, like you said, steady income until your entrepreneurial business becomes that steady income, and then you can there's certain tax write-offs and other things like that. That's a benefit for having both of those things, so you can get more tax benefits from your W-2 and your income in your business. But yeah, we'll leave that for another podcast. But but for your dad entrepreneurs, what is the number one thing that you would want to tell them to so they can understand, like, look, here's Roosevelt and he can help you out right now? What is something that you can tell them?
So the biggest thing that I get from my gamer dad entrepreneurs is by far, how do I balance all three? Because it's like, hey, I got a full time job, I got a business that I'm trying to do, I have family, I have gaming, I want to be able to do them all. How do I actually be able to do that? So pretty much I have a whole coaching program where we literally go through that and really work through that. But I would say the number one thing that I found from working with every single gamer dad is you got to be able to learn how to plan your day in advance. That is the only way you're going to be able to balance all three, because we as human beings, we are reactionary creatures. So when we don't plan our day ahead, we are basically allowing our day to come to us, and we're basically causing ourselves to react to the day. So for example, if the loudest voice that day is your job, then you're going to spend all your time working on your job, and then your wife and your kids aren't going to see you. You're not going to get any gaming activity in at all. If you're trying to level up to that next level in Destiny too, and that's the big voice right now, then you're going to spend all your time grinding Destiny 2 to the detriment of your family, to the detriment of your career or your business. Or if you are working your job and trying to build your business, then of course your business is going to be the thing that takes the hit because you're not going to mess up your full-time income. So you're going to be doing that. So it is so important to learn how to plan your day in advance so that instead of being reactive to the day, you can be proactive to the day.
Boom, there it is. Mic drop.
And,
Thank
and
you
yeah,
so much,
and
Roosevelt.
one
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
literally, my first chapter in the book is called the 48-hour day. And the reason why I called it that is because when you really learn how to plan your day ahead of time, it will seem like to other people like you have 48 hours in a day because you're that productive and you're able to get that much done.
Mm-hmm. Guys, and that's one of the number one things too that I try to instill into my clients is about planning your day, for whatever activities that you need to do, including self care.
Mhm.
Self care, you got to plan that time too and make it something special. Man, thank you so much, Roosevelt, for coming on. And where can they find you again, real quick?
So yeah, you can go to dominateyourdaychallenge.com to work with me there. And on all the social media platforms, I'm either Roosevelt Cooper, which is ROOSEVELTCOOPER, or Roosevelt G. Cooper.
There it is, guys. We can go like for two more podcast episodes of just talking on this subject. But guys, check out Roosevelt Cooper. We're going to have his information in the description below. Check out his website, sign up to do a coaching call with him to go over those three areas, find out where you're at. And guys, sign up with him. Get those three levels up so you can enjoy fully being a gamer dad and being a dad and then being in business. And that, like I said, and he even mentioned here, you don't have to have a side hustle, but at least if you're a W-2, to enjoy or maximize your time being a W-2 employee, maximize the time you have with your family, maximize the time in your gaming. Why can't you have all three?
Mhm.
Have life and have
I
life
have
more
guys that
abundantly.
don't have a business yet and they're in the group
Yeah.
because they know how to maximize their time with their W-2.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Roosevelt, for coming on and sharing with us your wealth of knowledge and the exciting new realm of gamer dads. And before we go, do you have any last words for our folks?
Yes, I just want to say and remind all the dads that you can have it all. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can literally build a business without sacrificing your family or gaming on the altar of ambition. Thank you for having me, Joe.
No, my pleasure, brother. My pleasure. And thank you for coming on. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to this episode and share this episode with people that you might know that might be a gamer dad and want to join the club. So, guys, talk to you later and have a wonderful, wonderful day. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast and share this podcast because you need to get leadership tips out there and have a positive expectation of God's goodness in your life each and every day. Hey, if you want to find out more about what I do, go to joedietrich.com. Go to joedietrich.com and see what we're up to. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.